G'day folks, welcome to another episode of Euro Mining News. Today we are talking three different stories. The first one is Nordic Mining AB. They basically have brought out some results, some rare earth element mineralization that's in and around their current iron ore asset, the Blotberget asset in the Bergslagen, it's a central area of Sweden. Basically, there's some rare earth elements that are associated with their iron ore there. Second up, we've got GrangeEX. Those guys have just purchased a massive high-grade iron ore asset in northern Norway. And they've also got a pretty good deal going with Anglo American for some initial funding to get them going, basically. Third up is Aurion Resources, Canadian listed. I mentioned these guys a couple of times. Basically, they've just provided an update on what's going on with their joint venture with B2. Rupert Resources is coming in to buy out B2's 70% stake, and Orion's got a chance to refuse this, and this is an update around that. So, first up is Nordic Iron Ore. So, it's in Swedish, unfortunately, so I'll just translate it for you. But basically, Nordic Iron Ore avslöjar lovande resultat för sällsynta jordartsmetaller. What this translates to is that they've more or less found some promising results for rare earth elements. So these high concentrations of rare earth elements have been found in and around the iron ore deposits at Blotberget. Now, the results coming back are down here. Total rare earth elements sitting at 15,000 ppm. So pretty high in the hanging wall from drilling that was conducted from 346 to 348 meters deep. So that's a 2 meter interval basically going at 15,000 ppm. Another one, 6,000 ppm. Not as good, but still worth noting in the main ore body, which was from 393 meters to 394 meters deep. And this is the main ore body from 546 to 558 meters deep, where they've got about 1,000 ppm and some other bits and pieces. Now, the most important part is that the proportion of neodymium and praseodymium dysprosium, so NdPr, which are really important for your heavy rare earth, or for your magnets that go into powering electric vehicles, wind turbines, advanced warfare like rockets and things, etc. They've got a 21% composition. So that's pretty reasonable for what they're looking at here. So it's important to realize that these are really early stage. There's been no certified standards being used to ensure the integrity of the analysis process studies yet. However, they're going to basically look into it more. That's what this says here. Eftersom undersökningar befinner sig i ett tidigt skede har ingen certifierat standarder använts. So it'll be interesting to see more along what goes on there. Second up, we've got GrangeEX completes the acquisition of Sweden Mining AS. So what's going on here is basically GrangeEX has acquired 100% of the share capital and shareholder loans because there's a bit of outstanding money in Sweden Mining AS. Now, Sweden owns an iron ore mine in Kirkenes in northern Norway, which is called the Sweden mine. The big kicker in this story, though, is that the acquisition was part funded through a $17.5 million cash injection from Anglo American, where they will receive a 3% revenue royalty over the life of mine production for the Sweden mine in return. Now, GrangeEX can buy back this royalty if they want to. However, it's going to cost them a heap of money. So it's good to have that initial capital anyway. 3% in the scheme of things. Over the life of mine, obviously it's going to benefit Anglo way more. However, GrangeEX gets that initial massive cash injection to use for getting this thing up and running. And that's exactly what it plans to do. So it aims to restart production of this ultra high grade direct reduction magnetite concentrate at both its Sydvaranger mine and its existing Dannemora mine, both in Norway. And they've got a strategy of basically becoming a leading supplier in European and global steel industries. So the sale and purchase agreements, basically the key terms. GrangeEX acquired Sydvaranger via a newly established subsidiary, which they've called GrangeEX Sydvaranger AS. Basically just squish the two together. They originally paid 1.5 million US for the asset. However, Sydvaranger has an existing debt of $25.5 million. So that's payable to Aurion, and this funding from Anglo is going to assist with that. There's also an extra deferred consideration of $13 million upon a final investment decision for pre-production construction at the Sydvaranger mine. And that's expected to kick off in early 2026. So both the debt and royalty agreement are secured by shares of GrangeEX, Sydvaranger AS, so the new subsidiary, and its assets in the Sydvaranger Mining AS. So if it goes belly up, it's all secured by those shares and the asset itself. So the original use of proceeds is $3 million from the royalty agreement will reduce the debt to Aurion to $22.5 million. The remaining $14.5 million that it's getting from Anglo will fund a new feasibility study on the Sydvaranger mine and maintain the current care and maintenance program. So it's likely that they're going to need to do a further raise or debt funding to be able to actually get this thing built and kicking off. So their next plan is to establish a technical steering committee, including a representative from Anglo American for the feasibility study, and go from there. But that's everything out of GrangeEX. Finally, we've got Aurion Resources. So like I said, Rupert has come in and wants to buy B2's 70% stake in the Aurion B2 gold joint venture in Finland. Now, because Aurion owns 30% of this asset, they've got a right of first refusal, which they've got until the 9th of May to execute. So this is basically trying to block Rupert from buying it. And they've said it's likely that the certain of these discussions will continue beyond the current expiry date of the notice of sale and offer, whether or not Aurion accepts the offer set forth in the notice of sale and offer. So they're basically just going to push this back by a fair chunk and have a bit more time to discuss and look at the positives and negatives. So that's all for today, folks. Cheers for tuning in. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a geologist giving you my personal opinions on a couple of things in the public market. Do not use any of it as investment advice, please. Have a good one.